Hip hop was good. It's the Go Getter TV. I'm your guy, Deme D, Mr. Everywhere. You're never there. I'm here with the episode of Diggin Wit Deme, uh, artist edition. You know what I mean? I'm here with the artist that I've been in tune with for a minute. That's been progressing in the game. Glad to have her on the show. We're here to talk about the album and the vinyl. You know, talk to him, let him know who's on deck here, let him know.
It's your girl, Chyna Streetz, the baddest influence. That's all I got to say. Y'all already know who I am.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Salute. Thank you for pulling up.
Thank you for having
Diggin
me.
Wit Deme. Got the vinyl. And it's crazy too, because I didn't even realize today is the
1 year anniversary.
the 1 year anniversary. When it drops, you know it's not gonna be the day, but today is the actual day. So
It is.
that's what's up, yo. Thank you for pulling up. I didn't even
Thank you
realize
for
that
having me. Yes.
when I tapped in. So you got the vinyl with him. Just show him the vinyl for the album From Hell to Chanel.
My baby.
Loving the cover. So we're gonna really tap into that, you know, and talk about the album, just the titles, produced by 183rd.
Absolutely.
I mean, salute the third. You know, I had a friend to the channel as well. He's from the Bronx. Yeah, well, where are you from? Because I done mistook where you were from a couple of times. So hey, let's start with that right there.
Okay, so here's the story. I'm from Queens.
Wait,
hold on.
Don't get hyped. Oh, man.
No, because it's both. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm from Queens, I'm from Brooklyn. You know, I got roots in Queens, I got roots in
That's me
Brooklyn. I'm
too.
a South Side girl and I'm a Best Side girl.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you know, I represent both.
That's
so
dope.
I'm not partial to either one, but you know.
Nah, yeah, that's how I am too. But I thought there was some Queens in there.
Yeah,
so that's what's up.
definitely
Salute.
South
Brooklyn
Side
in the
Jamaica,
building.
Queens all day. Like
Yeah.
I know who I am.
Let's go, Hillside Jamaica. You already know all my Red Hook niggas and all of that. But yeah, no, real talk. Salute to you.
Thank you.
The internet, people say it's like the gift and the curse.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but one of the good things is that's how I discovered you. I came across your music on Twitter.
Okay.
And been tapping in ever since. I didn't even know how plugged in you were. So I seen, you know, you was already plugged into the, you know, most of the rising talent in the industry, and then you've been putting out music consistently. I know you did the project with Wavy. That's like kind of really the first thing I kind of heard a full body of work with.
Okay.
So that was really dope right there. But From Hell to Chanel, let's get into that right there.
Right.
Let's see. Let's start with the 183rd. Now he produced the whole thing.
Yes.
How did that come about? Because he had very highly good things to say about you.
Well, you know, the way this music thing works, you know, everybody knows somebody.
I was just telling my cameraman that.
Yeah, everybody knows somebody. And I had just did the album with, the EP with Wavy the God. Shout out to Wavy the God. He's one of the illest. Like, if y'all not tapped into him, you need to get tapped in. But anyway, you know, we had just did, you know, Hourglass and Ghetto Diva kind of boomed real big, you know. I'm not going to say kinda. It boomed real big.
It was a good project.
And, you know, everybody's running around singing, Who Gassed You? You know. And it caught a lot of big people's ears, you know. So it kind of got me tapped in a lot of places. And it was recommended that I work with Third. So I was like, you know what? Okay. So then me and Third, you know, we kind of just started chatting back and forth about like what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. And then me, you know, being the person that I am, I was like, you know what, let's get it going. Like,
it was no procrastinating.
Nah, like if I really want to work with you, I'm gonna work with you. And that's not to say if I really want to work with you and I don't get to you that I don't want to work with you.
Right.
It just means that there's a lot on my plate right now, and I'm an attentive person. Like I pay attention to details. So I don't want to be the person that's like doing a whole bunch of things at once, because I like my sound to be cohesive. Like I want it to sound like a time period. So when you hear this is what that is. When you hear this is what that is. So, you know, once, you know, the connection was made, I was like, you know what, let's get it going. And we got it going for real.
I got it going. This is fire. This is a really good project. You spoke on cohesiveness. Did y'all sit together, or did he hit you with a pack, or did you like just pick the beat you want? Because it is very cohesive, I feel like.
It was a mixture of all three. I feel like, me personally, I don't really like to sit in the studio and write.
That's rough,
like I'm not one of those people that I like to be in the studio, but I don't really like to be in the studio like
People
that.
People think it's so fun. We just listen to the same beat for 2 hours.
Right. So, you know, I like to, personally, I write all my music in the shower.
All right.
So, like, I don't, like, you know, I'm very in tune with a lot of things spiritually. So, like, a lot of my ideas come from just me rambling in the shower. Like, I promise you, like, it's been like that all my life, and that's just where it comes from. Like, my essence, like, I don't know, I guess I'm just a water spirit, you know what I mean? Like, my
Gotcha.
essence comes from there. So, you know, I don't really like, you know, being hands-on so much, but when I'm putting the final touches on everything, I like to be hands-on in the studio. Like, I like
That
to be
makes
able to
sense. Yeah.
tell the engineer, like, chop that, move this over here, make this higher, bring this lower, you know? And I'm very hands-on with a lot of things. Like, I'm bossy. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm very hands-on. I'm going to tell you how I want it to sound. And if it doesn't sound like that, we're going to do it over. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, Third was with all of that. You feel what I'm saying? He was with all of it. Like, if I heard something, I was like, you hear that right there? He'd be like, what? I'm like, that right there. Like, nah, that gotta come this way. And then he'd be like, yeah, I fucks with what you thought. You know what I mean? And
that shows how dedicated and passionate you are.
yeah, because, you know, it was a collective project. So I'm like, you know, I want to be just as hands-on as the person that's making the sounds. You know what I mean? The sounds that I hear and the sounds you hear sound amazing together. So I'd rather it be that way. So, you know, he sent me packs. You know, he would send me something every day. One thing about Third, he is very, very on top of his shit. Like, if you are a lazy artist, do not work with Third. Because I promise you, he will send me a beat at 6:30 in the morning and be like, bitch, wake up, start writing. You know what I mean? Not literally like that, but, you know, get up, start writing. And, you know, I wake up in the morning and I see it be like, oh shit, yeah, I'm a rapper. You know, and
but it's
you
good.
just got to be on it.
Yeah, it's good to have.
No, I loved it. I loved it. Every moment of it. Like, every moment of From Hell to Chanel was a memorable moment for me. So I cannot complain. I'm grateful.
Yeah, and it came out amazing.
Thank you.
I've been pushing it for a minute. Like I said, people speak about it as far as in the rap community, because, you know, I follow that heavy again online and on Twitter. But I know for me, because we from the town, the title is very simple to me. But what I realize is, you know, we have a lot of people from other places that not where we from or don't always get all the slang. But from Hell to Chanel, it's pretty obviously. What I want to say, you know, pretty much you went through it and now you're rising. But Chanel, is that your favorite brand, or is that just a status thing?
For me, the Chanel aspect of it,
yeah, just
was.
I mean, you can speak on the From Hell too. I mean, but
absolutely, I have to like that.
Because
because
I get it. But.
Yeah, the Chanel part is just more so like a place that you reached when you feel like you did one thing. You know, I'm a Capricorn, so, you know, our thing is the GOAT, you know, and the GOAT climbs. So Chanel was the hill that I climbed. You know what I mean? Like, Chanel, me getting the Chanel bag was like, you know, I did my album, I bought a Chanel bag. You know what I mean? Like, I treated myself like this is what I wanted. This was something that I said, you know what? When I get to this place in life, I'm gonna do this. Every step that I take, I reward myself when I get there. So Chanel was the reward once I finished this album. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
From Hell was literally just the aspect of everything that I've been through in life. The bid that I did, you know, the betrayals that I went through, you know, just life shit that I went through that, you know, you see my face, you think, oh yeah, she's a pretty girl, you know, she's a pretty woman. And, you know, you think like, oh yeah, she ain't been through nothing. Listen, no, it's not true. It's not true. Like, I've been through enough shit that would make grown men cry. So, you know.
And I think you addressed I didn't want to say that. I think it came across on this album. You speak a lot about that. Do you think is more personal than your usual stuff? Because I haven't heard everything, but from what the stuff I heard is not. You're not just rapping. Not that you know do that, but you're not just rapping on this shit. It's like, you think it's your most personal so far, or just more telling? Because it's a lot of you telling.
I feel like it's more telling.
Yeah, I won't say personal. Yeah.
I don't think it's as personal because y'all didn't hear everything yet.
Got you.
Y'all didn't hear everything yet, so, you know.
No, it's very telling. It's a story, and I guess that's what you wanted, right? So it sounds like a story.
Yeah, to a certain extent. You know, it laid the groundwork for everything else that's coming. Right, I'll say that.
Salute to that.
Yeah.
And you did a couple of visuals for this too. I like that too. You didn't just because projects move so fast now. People don't even put. So I like to see that. So the visuals we did on you set it off with Chanel Boy. Why was that the first one right there?
Because it sound good.
Definitely good right there.
Chanel Boy was a fun record. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, it was actually one of the last records that I cut.
See how that go?
You know what I mean? So Chanel Boy was one of the last records, and it just had that sound. I was like, you know what? This is the first single. And everybody was like, this one? I'm like, yeah. It was like, why? I was like, because it's hard. Like, it's fucking hard. Like,
Definitely
it's hard, and it gives everybody that essence that they want from me. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, I see that.
everybody's used to me. You're not gonna get no weak sauce from me. So I was like, Chanel Boy has me and new me put together. You know, the elevation is in it, and you know, it's a girl song. You know, it's for the girls.
I mean, I rock with it. I feel,
I'm glad that the guys like it. You know, like.
Word, nah, but so we got a 888. That was the next joint.
Right.
You had a lot of stuff that you could probably do. I'm not gonna say the ones you I was
You can.
I was tight. You didn't do. What was I'm terrible with titles nowadays.
Here you go.
Yeah, let's do it that way. Yeah. Sirens, Lullaby. Like I was hoping you would that. This whole thing is a vibe too. I think you managed to. I don't think you managed to like tell your story. You know, get personal, but still have bop. Still made it a vibe. Like, this shit is a vibe. But
absolutely.
Yeah, Sirens, Lullaby. I was hoping, but that's what's up. You did Matrimony on Salute the Wrong Streets. So all those three videos was
I'm not gonna say there isn't a video for Sirens Lullaby.
Oh. oh yeah, you got the home team on there.
Ox.
I always say his name wrong. Ox Omni. Got the home team on here. So we still might get more visuals for this?
I'm not gonna say yes and I'm not gonna say no because you know I might have a rabbit up my sleeve that's coming, and you know I can't really let all of the cat out the bag.
I get it.
But you know it might be a little deluxe coming.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You know that is the wave right now. So I won't say favorite, but
you can. It's okay.
Okay, we'll get to that too then. I know when it's recording and you mentioned, saying turn that down, put that, take that out. What song just you feel like came out exactly as how you imagine it, or if it's more than one, or just say all of it?
Definitely Sirens Lullaby.
Hey,
it was definitely Sirens Lullaby because here's a joke. So Sirens Lullaby was gonna be on another beat, and my beat got took. And I was like, damn, son, Third, you gave my beat away, you know what I mean? And he was like, you snooze, you lose. And I was like, damn, son, so why you send me this shit? But it be like that,
It be like that.
And he sent me that instead. And I was like, oh. And, it was a better fit because now, I'm not gonna say it was a better fit. It just did what it did. It aligned properly.
It aligned properly. See, I wouldn't even.
It aligned properly. Nice. So I just was like, you know what? That's why I don't worry about nothing because it's always gonna come together the way it's supposed to. And I'm a dope ass writer, so
it all worked out. Yeah, a lot of good writing on it. I'm gonna keep saying that because that's the whole point of this. It's to showcase the vinyl too. But the project being a project I really enjoy too. But yeah, it was a lot of good writing on there. I know you could rap. I'm saying, but there's a lot of good songs on there. All right, so you want to say favorite? What's your favorite song? Yeah?
My favorite.
It's a lot of.
It depends on what day of the week it is.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Because personally, my favorite on this. Okay, I'll say overall song composition is Sirens Lullaby.
Okay.
As far as just like. I mean, like, somehow Chanel is my baby. Like, if you could say, like, I don't know, because some days, it's 101. Some days it's Judas Kiss, because,
Yeah, that's a good closeout.
Yeah, it's a heavy song, though. It's very heavy. Yeah. And, sometimes it's right back, because it's like, ain't nothing sweet over here. I don't know what the fuck you thought it was. Like, and believe it or not, that was actually the second song I wrote for this album.
What did you say that was the first one?
The first one was Entitled.
Okay.
The first one was Entitled. I started it off with Entitled. So, yeah.
And I guess since we spoke on most of them, we gotta speak on this one right here. You kind of went in on Bernadine's Rage right there. Talking.
So, oh wow.
Hey, but that's what I liked about. I did like about this though. You definitely didn't just rap, because I love motherfuckers who just rap. I definitely love that shit. But this was, like you said, came out good sonically.
Burna D's Rage, because I still wanted to make an album that was true to women. You know what I mean? Everybody, a lot of times, guys be like, "Oh yeah, we need more female rappers that don't rap about their pussy.
Hey.
We need the rappers that don't rap about their pussy. Where's the rappers that do?" It's like, shut the fuck up, because y'all talk about getting y'all dick sucked in the back of a car all day, every day. Nobody gets mad at y'all for the things that y'all say. So it's like nobody's.
Yeah, I've heard that counter argument. That's true.
It's
true.
Not even a counter argument. It's a fact.
No, it's a fact.
It's a fact. Nobody's monitoring how many times a dude gets his dick sucked on the track. Like, I'm out here with the bitch. Like, I'm not gonna say who I was listening to today, but the motherfucker was literally the whole day was like, the whole album was like, I got a dick sucked by a bitch. I got my dick sucked.
No, I'm getting bops and ops. Got my bops and ops. My bops and ops. My bops and ops.
And listen, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at
but I'm not mad at it, because at the end of the day, it's what my thing is. This music is subjective. Everybody likes what they like. I'm not going to yuck your yum. You know what I mean?
True.
But on the same token, women get critiqued crazily, and I don't like that. I don't like that we're held under such a microscope. I mean, it's like that in life regardless, but I don't like the fact that we're held to some regard where we're supposed to be some dainty, like, oh, I love my man on every song. Like, no. I barely like niggas.
Hey.
Like, and it's like, but I'm not a man hater.
No, but you gotta be speaking from your perspective.
But I wanted the album to have that feminine touch to it. And I wanted to touch on subjects that, women could relate to. Right. Women could be like, that's true. I did go through that, and I wanted it to be something soulful. I wanted it to be something that, and I also wanted it to be something that men could reflect on and be like, damn, son, maybe I'm fucked up. For real. Like, go to therapy and figure something out about yourself. So Burna Dene's Rage was really, and if you know who Burna Dene is, you would understand why I named that song that. Right. Burna Dene, most people don't know. Well, the women knew, the guys didn't. But
talk to him, let us know.
Burna Dene, Wait Until It's Hell. That was Angela Bassett.
I'm not gonna know.
And her name was Burna Dene. So, when she was in the closet ripping all his clothes out.
I'm here. Now it all ties in.
Burna Dene's Rage, So I wanted everybody to understand, like, what's the reward for being a ride or die? There is no reward for that. You just get shitted on. Like, there's no, like, is nothing at the end of the rainbow. There's no pot of gold at the end of this shit. You're just gonna die.
Oh my God.
That's it. Like, it's ride or die. You die. Most times, think about it. If it's a bank robbery, how many times people get away? They don't often get away. They usually die. So that ride or die theory is letting you know there's nothing good coming out of this. You're just doing this for the recognition. Like,
and then usually it's not a good situation for the person riding. So
never. The only person that benefits off of it is usually the other person.
That's a fact, though.
So that's why I said, what's the reward for that? That's why that hook was the hook. What's the reward for being a ride or die? Nobody can ever answer that question. There is no reward. There is none. So
that's a fact, though.
But
but that's the whole point of like they said, the people who really say that though really do want to hear it, because like I said, stuff like that. You got Rhapsody's album, Shane One, like a lot of them. I feel like a lot of y'all last albums was really good like that. Y'all had a really good balance of your perspective song and then really rapping. So we, the people who really listen to music want to hear that. So that's why we have you on here. What I do want to point out though too, the cover. Everyone else I had on here, their cover was like somebody who I think like drew it up, something like that. So this is dope. This is like one of your photos right here. I know how it is with photos.
Right.
So how did this make it to the cover? Because it is stylish right there.
Well, one, it's my album. Why would I have somebody draw on my album? Like this, like I'm not with all that. Like, I'm not with all that. Like,
I puts themselves on the cover no more. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's crazy.
I don't like that. This is my album. This is my work. Why am I putting no shade?
Yeah, because I like it too. I'm just saying.
I don't.
I just like, damn, nobody put themselves on it no more.
I don't like it. I think it's very, very, follow the leaderish. And I feel like everybody's losing touch with originality. And that's just my perspective. Feel how you want to feel.
Yeah,
but, I you know, it's my album. You need to know who the artist is. You need to see me. This is my first, you know, full-length album. So I wanted to be on the cover. Like, even with, you know, Hourglass, I was on the cover. You saw me. I literally had one of my fans tell me that they didn't listen to my album because I was on the cover.
Because they following suit.
No, they said that they thought I was too attractive and they thought that my lyrics was trash.
You gonna be on some more, okay.
And then, no, if you go on YouTube and look, the comment is there. I actually saw that one and I pinned it to the top just so people could stop talking shit. Like, you know, I'm an asshole like that. Yes, I am. But I'm very petty in that aspect. But, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. And I wanted, this is black and white. You know, if you know the brand Chanel is usually in black and white. And, you know, I just wanted it to be like my essence. I didn't want you to think too deep. I didn't want to, you know, I gave you the pearls, the glitz and the glamour, you know what I mean? Still with the street aesthetic, you know what I mean? Had my hair out, you know.
It's a good film. And that's what I know it's hard. I know
Shout out to Yaya.
Okay, yeah, is that the one who took the picture? Yes, okay. So
Yaya's the only person that does my covers.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we want to point out too. So
she's amazing.
Before we close out though, I know everybody's doing the vinyl, so but what was the reason you wanted to do a vinyl for this one right here, this album right here?
It was my first album. Okay. You know, and the people asked me for it. When I dropped it.
I was hyped when I seen it.
It was like, oh, where's the CDs? Where's the merch? Where's the vinyls? You know, sometimes you can't get wrapped up in that because people just be chatting.
People just be chatting.
Niggas
had you with 2 empty boxes in your hand, like, but
listen, I tour, so I'm not.
All right, so yeah,
you know, I'm sorry. I tour, you know, so I'm not really worried about that. I do shows, you know, and my fans come out, they buy my stuff, you know what I mean? But, you know, you can't listen to everything that everybody says. I'm grateful that I have the platform that I have. I'm grateful for the fan base that I have. I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have, the people that I work with. You know, a lot of people say, you know, you're an upcoming artist, you're a rising artist and all that shit. And for me, knowing what I have behind me, I don't feel that way. Like, I feel like I'm actually, you know, a heavy hitter in this shit.
Well,
you know,
everybody you in the mix. Yeah, you definitely in the mix. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like the mix, definitely. Like, I can make a phone call and anything can happen. You
rocking with this. Yeah, you right.
So, you know, I don't really look at myself as like a up and coming person in that sense. But, you know, New York is always the last people to catch on. Overseas, like, my fans love me. I love them too. So, you know, it's amazing. Like, I've performed in Greece before. So it's like,
I see you moving. Once they know they follow you, they'll be more tapped in.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Once the, you know, my audience, whoever's not familiar, because you definitely, like you said, you be moving.
Absolutely, you know, and it's a lot more to come. So, you know, I'm definitely grateful for every opportunity that I had and all the doors that From Hell to Chanel opened for me, you know.
That's good to hear.
I'm just super grateful. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and one last thing though, I kind of just feel like you've been more, I won't say more consistent, but I consistently see you, so that always helps too. I just maybe because, you know, everyone around too, you're in the mix, so I guess that helps too as well. But you know, definitely love the progress, you know, love to see where you're at right now. Appreciate the music, you know, keep it going. Trying to let everybody know NYC, we still out here. We got nothing but talent. But
absolutely,
like you said, you're way past NYC. They'll catch up when they catch up.
That's a fact. I love my hometown. Though,
all day, you already know. You
know how that go.
You know how it goes. Shit. The DagogetaTv. I'm your guy, Deme D, Mr. Everywhere. You never there. Make sure y'all tap in, subscribe, hit that red button, man. You heard?